Bam. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be any place. Pleasure to taking a nap. I'm telling you, you want to learn how to sleep a little bit better? You know, you got to spend the whole time outside. It's just, yeah, we get rid of the background music there. There we go. But outdoors on Saturday, outdoors on Sunday, a little bit outdoor on Monday as that went. But woo, you wind up sleeping pretty well. It's great to be outside. Got a little tan in that action there too, but definitely fun. Definitely fun. And with so many things going on too, keeps the mind moving along. So that's definitely exciting. All right, so I shared yesterday. We shared up some of the photos from Saturday's races. Saturday during the day, a lot of fun, and that was it into the evening. Today, I want to just share out some of the photos I took on Sunday and then started an album too. Got to get that really in motion over here. Calling it the yeah, oh yeah, Errol. Good afternoon. Yeah. It was just like it was just it was kind of sunny and then it was cloudy, but it was like deceiving as that one went. So got to be careful. Kept mentioning about staying hydrated. Boy, oh boy, was that important. And Earl was out in the sun all day long, all day. Did a great job. Absolutely, everybody really truly did. Doug, good afternoon to you. We're yeah, whatever. There's been some discussions about that whole thing too. About making sure that it's all good for everybody. So we just keep on taking those photos. But let's get back to it. It's yeah, I was talking to my wife too about this whole thing and about why it's so I don't know, popular, exciting, and the rest of that stuff. It's like any other group. Oh, let's not take it like that, but it's like so many other groups. We'll phrase it that way. It's like so many other groups. When you're with people that are all like-minded, that are trying to improve, that are trying to do something a bit better, they're out there, yes, competing, but also having a good time doing it, and it's friendly competition. That's great, and that's really, I think, what's probably one of the most exciting parts of this whole thing. You saw that photo too of the football players, right? Two football players, opposing teams. Somebody pulled a muscle. One of the other players from the other team came over and started doing some stretching exercises with them before the medical crowd got over there to go help out. What does it show you? Shows you competition is good, but competition is not everything. It's not the whole part of everything. It really has to do with bettering each other, supporting each other. Because you all know is that if you could help somebody improve, you're going to wind up improving. If they say nothing to you, nothing, nothing. And this is the difference between, and I guess this will be our business. So I'm trying to make some sort of a business connection with some of these messages as we go along here. But look at it this way, right? If you're really good at doing something, it comes naturally to you. And I've heard this about a baseball player. Don't remember the name, anything like that. But heard this about a baseball player. Baseball player knew how to hit the ball. Great hitter, absolutely phenomenal hitter. Went out there, boom, 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 boom. So at the end of the career, that player was asked to become a coach. Maybe I get some of the details wrong, but that player became a coach. I became a batting coach. Why not? Hey, wow, great batter. That's good. What you do is teach people how to do the same thing that you do. Sounds good, right? Sounds good. Except for one thing. When that batter started coaching the other party, here's what happened. He's like, well, when you see the ball, and I'm paraphrasing quite a bit over here, but when you see the ball, you got to swing through, proper stance, whatever. Watch the ball. Watch the ball. I played softball. Watch the ball. It's an artwork when it comes to watching the ball and seeing it. Some people could see it, some not. I mean, hopefully everybody can see a softball, coming through. But seeing a fastball versus seeing a curveball versus seeing something that's low or inside, outside, whatever, that kind of thing. Could you really do that? Or is it a trained eye? Is it something that you learn? Is it something you're born with? Well, obviously, that great hitter was born with some talent, some natural talent in there. You just kind of see things, see it. Maybe he's watching the ball. Maybe he was watching the pitcher and didn't even know it, but watching how the pitcher is grasping the ball, standing. Maybe it's a little bit different each and every time. But sometimes those that are like super, super good at something don't necessarily make for the best coaches. But here's the learning thing. If you are one of those people that really know how to do something and you can improve or you could convey that information where you now become a good teacher, a good mentor, and you could explain things out the way others would understand it, you know who benefits from that also? You do. Because you have just a greater understanding of it. You become more compassionate. You become a much better, probably communicator too, with explaining these things out. And I have personally noted that, you know, when I'm out there because I'm on the receiving side of getting back so much information. And, and as Errol writes over here, we talk about the family thing. So Errol sending his son off down the track for the first time. I think I got that photo. I'm not too sure whether it was Sunday, Saturday, and that kind of thing. But that's it. So, you know, Errol knows how to drive a car, and then you got to convey that information. Probably makes Errol a better driver because of that, because you can teach it, not just know it, but teach it, and that'll certainly make you a better whatever your talent is. But if you want to run a business, and this I see quite a bit, right? There's a little bit more my world rather than the racing world. I don't play baseball. I don't do any. I don't play baseball. I wish I kind of did. I wish I understood it. I was actually asked to be the sports announcer for a radio show. So in my quest to say yes, had to do with the microphone, I did. And then about an hour later, I called back. It's like I need to be realistic about this one. It's like I don't know it. I couldn't talk the talk, and I didn't have the time and make the time wasn't going to make the time to really learn it. Maybe if I did and really started making the time to learn baseball like that, to be able to announce, and it was announcing the scores the next day, not play by play or anything like that. Maybe I would have picked up on it, and I didn't. I regret it in some respects. I do, but it just not really my thing. I was never really into the sports like that. This one became different, and I got involved with this. It was more from a business standpoint. That was where that one went. That's how I got involved with this. And now we're learning quite a bit. There is definitely a business aspect of this without a doubt. And I will continue to talk about that. And I do. If you're out there at the track, I talk about that. Anytime there's a little bit of a lull in the action, I without a doubt spit those things out. But let's get back to it. So if you're really good, let's assume that you started your own business. Why? Because you're a great photographer, right? You're phenomenal when it comes to that. Maybe you're an artist. You're just phenomenal when it comes to that. Maybe you sell some sort of product or service and you're like number one. You know how to sell this stuff. You're good. You're good at reading the body language of the people that you're sitting across the table from. You know how to include a report and you know how to convey the information on that report where it's most meaningful to the people that you're sitting across from the table, that are sitting across the table from you. And you know that because, well, you just know what's important. Huh. You just know what's important. How do you know what's important? All right. How do you know? If you're a business coach and you're sitting across the table from somebody and you're coaching that person, how do you know what's most important to that person? Everything's most important? No, absolutely not. And Errol, I'm sure the same thing held true with you, right? When you're sitting there, you're talking to your son, especially when they're up over there, right, getting in that staging area. Everything's not most important. There are a few things that are much more important at that time. And you get it because you do it. Same thing in a business coach. They get it because they did it. They built their own business. They've coached other people. They learned about that whole experience. But how do you know what's most important? How does that person know what's most important? And how they convey that, right? So, Errol, if you were coaching me over here, I could see this. I'm pulling up to the starting area. It's like, okay, Brian, here's what you got to do. you spit out all this information. And I'm thinking, okay, when do I press the gas pedal? When do I let go of the brake? Well, as soon as you get that feeling, as soon as you see that light start to change, it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? How do you convey that? Now, Errol, I'm sure you can convey that. Maybe we'll get an opportunity before this racing ends this year for you to convey that information to me. And I'd be honored, if you did. But if you can't convey that information, impart that information onto another person, then you just internally know it, and you're not going to be that coach. You're not going to be that good of a mentor. And if you are running a business, you're not going to be able to expand your business in a way that you would really like to do it. And that probably goes much more so with, like, photographers. Oh, I want to grow my business. I want to bring in somebody else. You bring in somebody else, but you want them to shoot the way you shoot. How do you do that? Make sure everything's in the frame properly. It's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that to get that feel, as it goes through. So that, I think, is really unbelievably important. All right, so there's your business comment, for today, right? Is that if you're really good at doing something and you want to become better at that something, more well-rounded, and you want to grow your business, you want to help other people grow in that experience, we got to learn how to share things that that you just inherently know, and share that out. And I must say thank you to everybody, really, at the track, that has been telling me either how to do things differently, where I have that learning curve still in there, or even with some of the folks that go, I was like, yeah, I felt that pain also, as going through the whole thing and looking over and like, wow, they really got it together. Only for them to say, it's like, they don't know. We're just doing what they've been told to do and do it that way. And I'm like, man, but they look so confident in what they're doing. So hopefully I take some of that confidence and share it out a little bit there too, as I do what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Let's go and share screen, share screen. Let's go see what some of these photos look like here today. Not that one. Window. There we go. Window. Let's see if we can make the cars a little bit bigger. So I just quickly went through this, and these were the photos that I took. There we go. This is where we're at. Okay, there we go. I think, oh, I should, let's see if I could do this. I don't think I can, where I can see the comments, and all the rest of this stuff, but let's try it. What the heck? Let's just try to get to that. There we go. Hey, everybody. I don't think I could see both sides at the same time. This is where it helped to have a split screen, which we don't have. But anyhow, there it is, my friend. My sick SS. Beautiful car. Beautiful car. I did learn, with taking some of the photos, I chopped off some of the cars, trying to get them in action. And then also I got the telephoto lens on sometimes, the regular lens on other times. We'll go there. But still aiming to get some of these cars in motion photos, and you see the smoke in the back over there, while they are doing the burnout, right? Yeah, you get the water box back there. Just finished that up. Junior dragsters were out again. Actually, Chris Miller was out there today doing a couple of runs. Chris is working on getting his license, so that is great. And that's Dad, crew chief, etc. Those folks, whoa, I think if there's a group of people that are just so excited about having something a little bit closer over here, that is without a doubt them. They got some great experience, plenty of seat time over the weekend too. With Saturday, I mean, they had multiple passes that these junior dragsters did, racing against each other. Some didn't, most did. Got trophies, photos, all the rest of that stuff. It was great. And the fact that Jason Dobry had his school come down, that was the best. That was just absolutely terrific. That would not have happened in in any other track where they have to drive. And many of these folks, living on Long Island, you're driving 2 or 3 hours to go someplace. You're gonna get your school trip to, well, not a school trip. People from the school, though. I was not a school trip. But people from the school going down there, yeah, I don't know. And there's Errol. He's a man in action. Dad is not only crew chief, and he's also a photographer. That is what you call double duty. Maybe triple duty too. Maybe play part-time mechanic or mechanic when he gets in the back there. As another one of our cars heading down the track. I think I got the photographer in this one. No, no, no. They were all out in force. There's another Camaro. Beautiful stuff. Just absolutely great. Some of these photos came out pretty good, I might add. Now I'm in Steve's shack while taking these photos, and I got the telephoto on. So if I took them when they were a little bit further back, when they're coming off the staging lane before they got over to that water box where they would do the burnout, I was able to get the full car. Once they got up a little bit closer, it got a little bit more challenging to go and do that. But just the same. Yes, that is a non-American vehicle. There was quite a few cars from around the world out there over the weekend. It was phenomenal to see. There was one van, and I don't have a photo of that, and I just wish I did. I gotta find that. There was one van. I forget what the make on the van was, but it was the steering wheel was on the right hand side, so it was definitely a European car made for Europe, not made for here, but made for Europe. Right hand side it was a van. It always had a passenger in the car, and uh, his driver. I think it was a he that was driving, whatever it was, the driver. It took that car 14 seconds, 15 seconds to get down the track. Most of these other cars on the faster cars are doing it in 7, 8 seconds as they're heading down there. So just to give you an idea, even the junior dragsters were getting down that track at I think it was roughly 11 seconds that they were making it down the track. Yeah, about 11 seconds or so, if I recall. Here's my wheel in motion car. Doug, maybe that one's for you. Wheel in motion. And the big wagon. There's always a wagon. And these wagons, don't count them out, man. The other Saturday's wagon flew down the track. Sunday, here we go. Puff the magic wagon on its way. I couldn't decide which photo. Oh, that one I shouldn't have had that one in there. Cut off the front. Cut off the front. Got the wheel in motion. Cut off the front. There's the wrong lens on. Yeah, what do you do? You got the microphone in one hand, got the camera in the other. Somewhat of a challenge as we go through. That was a decent photo. Getting the green lights over there. VA Motorsports. They are one of the sponsors. They were down there all the time. Vinny was having a ball. I've seen some of his. It's Vinny Allegretti. I've seen some of his posts afterwards too. So Vinny will definitely be back. And has been there. I couldn't tell you if it was every day, but definitely been a part of the whole thing. And Merkel Racing Engines. I assume this gentleman works over there. At least wearing the shirt. Maybe he buys his stuff. But it's another one. I get that wheel in motion. Got that cleanup. Some of the cleanup stuff there for the track too. So that was kind of cool. And let's go back to Chris. So here's the thing to notice in this one. Well, I guess we got two things. Let's go with the most important thing, right? That driver is focused. Focused. It's just absolutely awesome how focused that these drivers are when they're getting up over there. And it was one thing I was able to see a little bit more so with the junior dragsters than with the cars because they didn't have the windshield to go through and some of that kind of stuff. The other thing too, let's look at this other vocation that does get created by these racing cars. New England Graphic. We'll put in a little plug for them there too. Someone's got to put those decals on the car and design that car. You'll notice quite a few of these cars are just outright gorgeous. The car in and of itself, but also the designs on these cars and the graphics that go along with it. Now, once you start getting into the sponsors, it even gets more so. And all those sponsors have got decals. And what are all those decals? They're not just decals. Those are logos. Maybe these drivers, these junior drivers, also, and might have that whole thing too about building a deck, their own little profile that would allow folks to go out there and sponsor, just like some of the race cars. some of the professional race teams. They're all sponsored with somebody someplace. Possibilities there. Offset some of the costs, maybe allow them to buy some different kinds of equipment, along too. Also, maybe allow them, school in mind, of course, to travel to different places. Also, maybe a little bit further out. Who knows? There we go. And Chris heading on down the track. And next up, we got our flag that is there. I got Kristen down the track. I think that was the last one I took over here. Last one I got at least included in on these things for this one. And that would be true. That is the last one I got on that. So there we go. That's a nice patriotic one to kind of end on as that goes. Let's remove that. We'll come back over here. And we are good. Hey, Mr. Martinez. Good to see you there, my friend. Definitely good to see you. So what is the other ones? Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. This upcoming weekend. The upcoming weekend. Let's go here to I gotta find that. Let's not do that. Let's stop that share. Let me just do this over here. Tried to do too many moving parts here today. But that's okay. All right, Errol. Wait, give me a second. I'll pop back over there. I'll see what you wrote. But I want to get the sheet up, and this will give you an idea as to what the Beat the Heat program cards are gonna look like. And I have that over here. I got that over here. Let's see if I can find that a little bit quicker. I found my press release. That's not what we're looking for. Photos. Nope, I don't seem to have it just yet. Oh, nope. That is not it. Wait, we'll get that. There we go. I should be able to find the other photo. All right, let's go back here. That is not what we want. Oh, good. That didn't pop up. That was the screen we don't want to do. Let's go to Window, Bingo, Share. All right, here we go. That is the flyer. Got a flyer for this weekend over here. Let's see if we can make that a little bit bigger. Let me jump back over on this side. And make that a little bit bigger. Let's jump over to this. When I spoke to StreamYard about using this whole thing, they were pretty clear that, if you're going to do this and you're going to share screens, using two screens is quite useful. They are 100% correct. There we go. Using two screens certainly will make a difference when you are doing these things, without a doubt. So that is the Racetrack Not Street sign poster. That was one of our friends that we met. And let's just make this smaller. We can chat about it a little bit. All right, there we go. That is what we got going on there. Can't seem to move that over. Oh, that's a shame, huh? But all right, so here we go. So Racetrack Not Street, that's the website to go to, the Beat the Heat program. If you are interested, and this is Saturday, and I don't have the most current thing over there, but I do believe that there's still going to be opportunities to do that. But you can race one of these police cars, and it's called bracket racing. And then Errol, if I get this thing wrong over here, by all means, please correct me. But it's called bracket racing is what they're going to do, because many street cars are not going to be as fast as the cars that the sergeant is bringing up over here. So how do you do that? So you'll be able to, they'll figure out exactly how fast your car is from different passes that you make, your average time. Then the sergeant and the beat the heat cars know their expected time going down the track, and then they're able to even it up. All right. So what does this mean? In in a little bit more true English, let us assume that the sergeant's car, one of the beat the heat cars, normally takes, and I'm going to use round numbers here, 8 seconds to get down the track. 8 seconds to cover that eighth of a mile. Let's assume I'm running my car, and it normally takes me 10 seconds to get down the track. So what I will get in this bracket racing, is that I will get a 2 second head start. So I will leave. The sergeant will wait 2 seconds, which may seem like eternity on his side, but whatever. He will leave. He will wait 2 seconds before his light goes green. And then the two of us, in theory, will get to that finish line at exactly the same time because my car goes down that track in 10 seconds and his car goes down the track in 8 seconds. Will it exactly work out that way? Nah, that's why it's called a race. So who wins in that one? Well, a lot of times, if you're very, very let's assume every time it takes me 10 seconds to get down there, every time, and it takes him every time 8 seconds to get down the track, then what will win is perhaps reaction time. How quickly you get that car going, or once the light goes green. How you lose, let's get rid of that. Where we at? How you lose is by making a mistake. You don't want to lose, right? Nobody wants to lose, So it's a matter of practicing, going and thinking and knowing and doing what comes natural. And man, that is a challenge. And maybe we'll end on that note. I was like, how do you make things come natural? It's hard. If it's inside of you to do it, you know what? It's super easy and you were blessed with that talent. And that's a good thing. Using that talent, using it appropriately to better yourself and to help better other people, that's great. But if it doesn't come naturally, you got to work on it. I give you another baseball story. There was one of these baseball players, a utility player, is what he called himself. And I had asked him about that, and he brought up the topic. And one of the things was about how long he lasted as a professional player. And his comments is that he was never the best player. He was never the worst player, but he was never the best player. I was like, if you're never really one of the best players, how do you survive that? How do you stay in the game for so long? And the answer is that what came to him, he was good, but not great, had a natural ability, but wasn't phenomenal. But the ability that he really played up on, that he focused on, was his ability to learn. And I think that becomes the trick over here with this. And with anything, with any business you're doing, any role that you're playing, anything. It's that ability to learn. Do we learn? Do we listen? Do we get feedback? Do we listen to the feedback? Are we willing to take constructive criticism? Sometimes criticism. Sometimes we have to understand where people are coming from. Look, if time is of the essence and you say something that's incorrect, you get told it. You're not politely, but told it. I said, yeah, you don't want to get it wrong. And then you got to make corrections, immediately. It happens. But if you're able to do that, you're able to learn from those things, and then you'll grow from it, and you'll be able to fit into different categories. And that was what his role was. That was what he did. He was able to play multiple positions. He was never the best at any of those positions, but when the team needed him someplace, he was available to do it. When he was up at bat, he always studied the pitchers. He knew what team he was playing against. He knew the pitchers that were most probably going to be there. And he studied and he learned and he understood what they were capable of doing, what their strong points were, and doing the rest of that stuff. Can you do that at a racetrack like this? Racetrack, not street? No, because you don't know who you're going to be racing against. And let me tell you, this is not about the money or any of that kind of stuff. So not that important. You come out there every week, you're going to learn more and more and more. I know I've been picking up different things too, just on the announcing side of things, and totally an outsider, in this. But if it really counts, you really need to up your game, and you're not. the number one person on it, you certainly can. And it's by constantly learning and constantly seeing and picking up on what other people are doing, learning from what they do, and learning how they do it. So when you do go up against them, be it at a racetrack, be it at a baseball game, be it at a business issue where you got requests for proposals going out and you're competing against them that way, you understand what your opponent's strengths and weaknesses are. Now you got yourself something, and that's sustainability. That would be a big thing there. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. Tomorrow, hey, maybe we won't talk about racing tomorrow. Maybe we will. Have an absolutely wonderful day. And remember, speak well, speak often, live inspired. You will inspire other people to do exactly the same, whether you know it or not. All right, let's go. Let's put a little bit of picture up over here. Oh, and there's I can't tell you. But next weekend's pictures will be something that you would never expect. Never expect. All right, we're out of here. Let's get the music going. Little rock music. We'll turn the sound up. We'll speak to everybody later. And have a wonderful day.